This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Carlos, CEO of GR Capital. Just want to take some time talk about a quick strategy for our members and options traders. This is called the laddering strategy. We talked about this before in the chat room, but I think a visual presentation would definitely be a little more helpful. So let's go ahead and get right to it. All right, so let's go ahead and look at a chart together. This is good. This laddering technique is mainly for, let me just preface this, mainly for the people who are in front of the screen. If you have a 9 to 5 job and you're away from the computer, away from your phone, and you have your 40% rules set up where you have limit orders and exit points or stop losses, stick to that. This is for my guys who maybe you have a day off today or something like that, and we get a trade where you really want to be in front of the computer and focused. This is what you want to do. This is the laddering strategy. So this helps out by increasing your profits on a winning trade, and this will help you on your P&L and also boost up your instead of winning percentage, it'll boost up gaining on your winners. That's the key. So remember, we have our runner strategy, but this will be kind of an addition to that. So just keep an eye on it. So this is the laddering strategy. So let's take a look at SPY. So what we're going to do here is take a look at SPY again. We looked at this. This is a downward trend, yada yada. We have the descending wedge. So let's say together we say we're going to get into the 277 puts for this week. Write that down if you want to take a look at it. 277 puts expiring May 31st. So let's take a look at the trade. We're going to go to trade. We're going to go to May 31st, and we're going to look at the 277 puts at $1.27. And of course, we see that we have our volume. We did our checklist. We saw everything that we need to do. We said, this is a great trade, good spread. We're rocking. We're going to go ahead and buy those 277s. Excellent. So we buy those 277s at $1.27. So obviously, this is not live in regards to the live market hours. Well, it is live market hours, but the markets are closed. So I'm going to use our trusted friend percentage calculator. Let me type this in correctly. Maybe get my typing correct. So this is a lot easier to get to. So let's say we get in at $1.27. If I could just load this, that'd be terrific. Bear with me, guys. Of course, live recordings. What can I say? Now it wants to go slow. Excellent. So let's say we're at $1.27. We got into the ask, $1.27. Our P&L is open. We saw. So again, we know your P&L. You look at your phone on TOS. You see that you're up 10%, 5%, what have you. So let's say this thing goes to $1.47. Actually, let's do $1.57. Now we're at 23%. $1.57 here, right? We added. Now we're at 23% P&L in profit. So you say to yourself, great, we're not at our 40 yet. I'm in front of the screen. It's Wednesday or Thursday, let's just say, or Tuesday, and our trade is rallying to our way. So it's going down, let's just say. And the technicals are looking good, fundamentals are looking good, and we're rallying. So you have option A, stick to what you got, 40%, get out, leave your runner. Awesome, I'm okay with that. Now we're gonna do the laddering technique. So let's say you have 1% risk on this one. You have a 1% trade, 1% risk trade. Let's just say you put in 200 bucks as an example. Let's just say. So again, 1%. Say you say 1% here. Let's say you have a $10,000 account. What would that be? That'd be $100. Let's say you have a $20,000 account, and you said, "Oh, I risked $200 on this trade." So that's 1%. For example, you have a $20,000 account. So you're at 23%. Awesome. You're doing great. So what do? This is the laddering strategy. Now you want to add another contract or another position, another 1%er. So you're going to add another contract at $1.57. $1.57 at $1.27. You're going to go and average that out. So what do? You actually this is going to be done by the actual system, but again, I'm going to do it manually. $1.57 plus $1.27, $2.84 divided by 2. So now your average cost is now $1.42. So we got two contracts averaging at $1.42. So where does that put us? Right away down, we're down 10%. I mean, we're up 10% on our deal. So just hang with me here. $1.42. Now it goes up to 166. Now it's actually going to say $1.86 now on the ask. Right, $1.86 now on the ask. Our original entry price was $1.27. So you're at 46%. If you were doing the original strategy, which is 40%, you would have been out and you have your runners, right? But you got in and you added a contract. Now you're at $1.42. Now you're at 30%, right, on your average. So now you're 30% profit on your two contracts. You can add another contract here as we go along. So let's do that. Let's say you bought again at $1.86 and you added another contract. So now you're at 3% risk now on one trade, but you're still up. So you're up 30%. You added here at $1.86 on the ask. So now, again, this will be done by the system. Now you do this, $1.86 plus your second entry, $1.57, plus your original entry, $1.27, divided by 3 is $1.56. Now $1.56 is your average price on 3 contracts. Great. So how much is that at current levels? Now you're at 19%. Let's say it keeps going. Now we get to $2. On your original entry, if you're at $2, let's say you're in class A, you just had, you did the running strategy, you're happy anyways on your original position of $1.27. On your original position, you're at $1.27. That's 57% on the original position. But on your average out, on your $1.56, on 3% risk of $300 risk, you're up now 57%. Now on your average position, $1.56 at $2, you're now up 28%, right? Which is very great on your added position. Let's say you add it again. Let's say you said, oh, you know what, Carlos, we're now at $2. I'm going to add another position. Now you're at 4%. Great. $2. Excuse me. Now you're going to add, excuse me. Sorry about that. Scratch that. Now you're going to add to your positions that another position, the 1%, $2 plus your original, which is your third position, 186, plus your second position, plus your 127 position, divided by 4. Now you're at an average rate of $1.6750. And this will show on TOS, by the way. This will show your average cost. So we're at $1.6750 on average. That's where we are. We added. Now it goes up to 220. You're up 31% on your average position. Now you have 4% risk. Again, you can literally do this as much as you want. Now what you say is, Carlos, I'm keep adding. When do I stop? That's really up to you. This is where I say have a number, guys. Really have a number. It's very, very important. So let's say you had now you're at 4% risk, right? 4% of your original 500 of now on your $400 position. You made, that's the risk, excuse me. That's completely wrong. $400 risk. You made 31% on your $400 position. 7.75. That's incorrect. That's 7.75% gain. That's correct. A $400 risk. You made $31 so far. I think the math is wrong there because that's not correct. But I could be wrong. That's not correct, in my opinion. That's wrong. Either way, scratch that percentage. That'll tell you on that. We're just going to figure out the laddering position. So again, you have added across the board. Now you're at $2.20 on that SPY. You're at the average position of 167.50. We started at what, $1.27, and we kept adding. So you say to yourself, when do I get out? When do I get out? Let's say your average weekly target every week is $500 profit. Once you hit $500 profit, guys, you need to be closing. You need to get out and move on. Get out, close the laptop, be happy with your position, and move on to next week. No matter what happens, you need to understand that that's where your key is. Now, again, it's relative. $500, $1,000, $100, $200, it really doesn't matter. It's really up to you. You need to figure out your position. You need to figure out where you are, where you figured out, hey, this is what I made enough. Did I make enough? That's the key. So now I got that correct. 31% of $400 is $124. I just figured it out. So let's say you made 31% on your four positions, $400. You made $124 profit. Now you can literally ladder it up as much as you want, literally by keeping adding. Let's just hope the position goes up. But this is where I say you want to keep an eye on. Do not keep a stop loss. Just keep an eye on it. Once you get a 10% P&L, 10 to 15% P&L, let's say this drops a little bit. It's around $2. Now you're at 19. Let's say the ask goes down to 189. Right there, we're $1.92. 15%. This is where I want you to get out, guys. Just get out, because you don't want to lose more than you put in. So again, you still made money on your first 4 positions, but that last position you got in at $2 is in the red. So again, you could still be fine because you added on top of it. So again, let's just pretend we got back to a $2 position where we are 19%. Let's say we got to 220, like we said, we're at 31% of your $400 position, since you added 4 times on the risk, $100 each time. Excuse me, actually, be 800. Say we did it 200. Oh, my math is terrible. You made 248 bucks. So let's compare. You did 1% risk at $200. 1% risk at $200, right? Remember that? So you made $248 on this laddering trade. Let's say you got a 31% and you were happy. You said, I'm done, I'm out. Or let's say you got in on that first risk of $1.27 to 220, 73%. Well, that was only $200. 73% of 200 is 146. So you literally almost doubled your return. And remember, that's one contract, so that's actually a little less. So again, keep that in mind. Use the laddering strategy to your advantage. Always add on winning positions. Only do this if you're in front of the screen. But you see the difference. If you added and laddered correctly, instead of just having that one contract with the runner, you're going to be adding more. You're going to get more risk, less risk, obviously, on a winning position because it's going your way, than you are adding a losing position, which is really dumb. That's like revenge trading. So again, you could do column A, which is your 1%, and you make 73% on that runner, or what was that example? But again, you have to cut this down a little bit. You'd probably be around $100, or you'd be at 31% of your 4 positions, a total of $800 max on $800 risk. 31% gain is 248 bucks, and we laddered our way up correctly. So again, remember that. So let's go over this one more time. You have one contract set up. You got in at $1.27. You went ahead and added again at $1.57. You went and added again at $1.86, and then $2. That's 4 positions at 1% pop, or 2% a pop. It's up to you. We recommend 1 to 4% anyways. I wouldn't recommend doing 4% every time, guys. Just kind of lower the risk, especially in choppy markets in the summer. But again, that's either here nor there. But again, you could see the difference in gaining. You see you're compounding more on your winners. You really want to pile on the winners if you're in front of the screen, instead of just, waiting around. Again, this is only if you're in front of the screen. I do this sometimes. The only names I would do this with, and keep this in mind, would be SPY, QQQ, IWM, the ETFs. So keep that in mind. IWM, QQQ, and SPY will be the ones I do this because the volume is a lot higher and the spreads are a little tighter. And then also when they move very quickly. So I wouldn't do this on an AMD. I wouldn't do this on a Square because they can move very quickly. But trends tend to follow each other on SPYs and Qs very, very, very straight line for the most part. So again, keep that in mind. This is the laddering strategy. Only use if you're in front of the monitor. If you're not, if you have a day job, you have a lot of time, you don't have a lot of time, stick to the 40% rule and get out with runners, and you could just use that for the time being. But again, the more you're in front of the monitor, you can use the laddering strategy. It does help out. I apologize if the math got a little screwy. I'm still working with the percentages. Guys, I promise you this is a lot easier when you're in front of live data with P&Ls moving. It's 9:34 Eastern Standard Time at night, so markets are closed. So again, I just try to do it manually. So again, I'm going to repeat it one more time. We got in at $1.27. We added at $1.57 on the ask. We got in again at $1.86. It keeps going up. We added at $2. 4 positions, 1%. We got up to 220. We got up to 31% profit on our 4 positions, which is about $800, $200 per position, $248 profit. Remember, your number is your number. Everyone is different. Don't ask your neighbor what's his number. Don't ask anyone. Everyone is different. You know your number. You know your financial situation. You know your goals. Stick to it. The laddering strategy helps. It helps you pile on the winners, and it helps mitigate losses long term. Remember, guys, trading is a long-term deal. So you're going to have some ups and downs here and there. But again, once you pile on those winners, guys, it makes a difference. One time on SPY, I added as much as like up to 18% risk, and it paid off very well for me. So again, you can do this, but again, be very careful. Once you're around 10 to 15% on P&L, as the markets are, the trade is not going your way, just get out. Just get out. That's okay. Even if you get off at break even, just be happy you didn't lose. It's not what you make, it's what you don't lose. It's very, very important you remember that. So I hope this helps, guys. I just wanted to make this video very quick, very easy to show you the ways to add the laddering strategy. Thank you so much, guys. We'll talk soon.